Our next fight of the evening is brought to you by bodybuilding.com, scheduled for three-minute rounds in the lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a freestyle fighter. He comes to this fight with a record of 2 wins and 1 loss. 1 win coming by way of submission. He stands at 5 feet 11 inches tall and weighed in at 154.2 pounds. He fights and trains with Boss Rutten's Elite MMA from Thousand Oaks, California, Damon Jacobs. And his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. He steps into the cage with a perfect record with 3 wins and no losses. 2 wins coming by way of submission. He stands at 5 feet 10 inches tall and weighed in at 155.4 pounds. He represents Gooch Training Academy from the Philippines, PI, Kristofferson Esquerra. Referee in charge of the action, Keith Jeffrey.
2 experienced lightweights bringing you 3 3-minute rounds. The shin guards are off. 2 of our favorites, Chris Esquerra in the red corner, Damon Jacobs in the blue. This is the UofMMA. It starts here.
It's going to be a fast fight. I don't know if it's going to end quickly, but it's going to be a fast-paced fight.
You see the speed of the hands from Jacobs already, but also those powerful fast kicks from Esquerra.
Oh, Jacobs right to the rear naked, the guillotine, but he doesn't get it.
Esquerra gets this fight to the ground quickly, now letting loose with some ground and pound. Now, you note there, folks, that Esquerra dropped down for a heel hook, but this is the amateur mixed martial arts, so rotational leg locks are not allowed, which is why he let it go.
I think they should be allowed.
That's both an example of great instinct, but also great awareness to not do the illegal technique.
Absolutely.
And the one thing about the rotational leg locks in amateurs is that's a high injury rate.
It really is, and I am assuming that that's why they're outlawed, because these guys have such high adrenaline, but maybe all of them don't have the high experience level, and so somebody grabbing onto an ankle and cranking it very quickly, it can go from 0 to 100 before you notice it. I'm assuming that's why Camo has decided to make that an illegal move.
Esquerra playing a complicated.
Oh, he's going for an armbar or a Kimura? Yeah, looks like he's going for a Kimura. Which is completely possible from that position, but he didn't get it.
Esquerra paying for those attempts with some big punches from the top.
Now Jacobs trying to rain down some punches from the guard, which is really all you can do in that position as you're defending any submission attempts.
Esquerra looking high, possibly going for an omoplata.
Yep, that's what he's doing. He's got to hold on to that elbow, though. See how he didn't lock up the elbow first? That was the problem, but he could get an armbar from there, which looks like what he's trying to do. But Jacobs' elbow came out, and he was able to escape it.
Creative guard game from Chris Esquerra so far.
I like it. I like it.
Damon Jacobs, been here before. He knows how to stay calm and stay focused.
Now, Jacobs doesn't seem phased at all. He is a cool customer.
Well, again, that's that confidence we talked about.
That's true.
And what you're seeing tonight is a much more focused, confident but less cocky version of Damon Jacobs.
And he's really trying to finish that guillotine, which was a smart move by reaching back and grabbing his leg, but not so smart move by putting him into a dangerous position, and now he's in the guillotine.
But interesting note.
This is how he got tapped out last time, by not letting go of the guillotine from the side control.
Role reversal that time.
Yeah.
Jacobs on top. Damon lets Chris up. 20 seconds left in round number 1.
Jacobs has a big cut on his back.
From the look of it, it looks like maybe it was something that was there before that
maybe
opened
a scab that got pulled off, yeah. I don't see that being a problem at all. Just something that I noticed.
Interesting round.
Both of these fighters are incredibly composed. That was a tough round.
Yeah, you didn't see either of them wearing the stress of the fight on their faces.
Right.
Both guys present, both guys calm, clear-headed. This is 2 experienced amateurs.
Absolutely, that's what we talked about in the beginning. They're coming in, yeah, they're not professional fighters yet, but they have a very professional demeanor. Neither of them are fazed by how hard they worked, and neither of them seem to be too tired. They're gonna come back in pretty fresh and ready for the second round.
Both guys coming from very respected Southern California camps.
Yes.
Damon Jacobs from Boss Rutten's Elite MMA, and Kristofferson Esquerra with Gooch Training Academy.
Yeah. Fantastic coaches at both places.
Three more minutes on its way in round number 2. Damon Jacobs in the blue corner, Kristofferson Esquerra in the red. Jacobs staying light, looking for an angle. Esquerra stalking him down.
You know, that's something that Jacobs is really good with, is his footwork.
Esquerra throwing some feints. Both guys kept on jabs at the same time.
Woo, nice kick coming from Esquerra.
Nasty to the outside. Without those shin guards, those leg kicks hurt a lot more.
They sting.
Two factors, not just no shin guards, but also that extra minute per round gives you more time to stack those up.
Yep. They're trading kicks, and I know they're low, but those kicks will start to eat away your leg, especially when you've got all that lactic acid buildup in there. That is not fun.
Inside now from Esquerra. A lot of respect in this second round from both fighters.
Nice push kick from Esquerra.
Esquerra, the jiu-jitsu blue belt, really showing off his striking, measuring distance.
Both of these guys are blue belts, aren't they? I could be wrong.
Both guys looking for an opening. So far, no one finding the gap to slide inside.
Yeah, kick seems to be the only thing landing this round. I haven't seen it before.
There's a couple of nasty ones on the front leg of Damon Jacobs.
Woo.
He responds with a slick left hook.
Very technical striking exchange.
The Filipino Esquerra looking like an experienced Thai fighter.
Yeah. But Jacobs picking the shots and being very patient and
You can see
strategic.
Jacobs is moving a little differently on that front leg, though.
Yeah.
Keep a close eye on it as
It's
those
pretty
kicks start to
red.
build up. Also, you see he's kind of shaking it out with that stance.
Those kicks start to hurt. Those inside kicks.
Well, and that's the real danger now. Esquerra makes him start thinking about that low kick and
Yep.
eventually goes high.
Yeah. Jacobs dropping his lead hand. It's opening him up for some nasty shots.
And you see Jacobs did not have as much on that last leg kick as he's had before. Esquerra making a very smart tactical choice in the second round.
Nice handshake at the end.
Very close, very tight round, but you ever wonder how much those leg kicks of Esquerra are going to affect the third and final round.
Yeah, if you look at that lead leg, the left leg of Jacobs, it's bright red. That lactic acid is building up, it's bruising, and it's hurting every time that Esquerra lands that.
It's an interesting question about whether or not you should sit down on the stool between rounds when you've had that kind of leg kick action.
This is a good conversation for that. Give him a chance, the blood a chance to pool in the legs. And speaking of, Esquerra's choosing to stand.
Interesting note.
Yeah. Gotta wonder if that's him or his corner making that call.
Not sure. Kristofferson Esquerra, though, made some great tactical choices. Now we're in the corner of Damon Jacobs. You can see getting some very important adjustments to be made for this round. Again, those guys over at Boss Rutten's Elite Mixed Martial Arts, very smart, very tactical.
Yes. Ryan Lilly, one of our former champs in the cage.
And let's see what happens in this third and final round. 3 more minutes on the way to decide the victor.
Yes, it is
of this lightweight bout.
It is anybody's fight right now.
Let's see if Esquerra goes back to those leg kicks and right out the gate goes inside again. Here's some of the crowd chanting GTA, Gooch Training Academy. And now the Boss Rutten camp responding with Jacobs.
Trying to scare with those kicks again.
This fight has really slowed down in these second 2 rounds. From a hot start at the beginning.
I think both of these guys felt the other one's power and the other one's ability, and so they're having to be very smart with the exchanges.
Esquerra
finding that home.
Well, landing on that leg, but also throwing that front kick a number of times, making Jacobs question his timing coming in.
Yeah.
Another time on the inside for Esquerra. Jacobs needs to find a place. I don't think he has connected yet in this 3rd round. Finally,
there it is.
Nearing the halfway point, Jacobs makes contact.
He's got to have an answer for those inside kicks.
And
nice
that's a big right hand.
That was beautiful.
Hit it behind that jab, found a place for it.
There he is. Jacob seems a little bit more confident now. Woo!
Both guys swing and a miss. Approaching 1 minute left in the 3rd and final round.
Nice combination coming from Jacobs.
Jacobs could turn up right now, possibly steal this fight.
It's possible. I say one of them's got to make a statement in this last half of the round.
That front kick, keeping Jacobs on the outside, but not really landing. 30 seconds left. Will someone pull ahead? Will someone tell the judges, I deserve this fight? Inside again for Esquerra. And now a big 1-2 for Damon Jacobs.
There it is. That was a beautiful takedown from Esquerra to end the round. But Jacobs had a great, strong response for it. Both of these guys turning it on in the last seconds to make that statement. I think the story of this fight is going to be were Esquerra's kicks enough to lead the path to the win, or were Jacobs' counter strikes?
Well, in a round 2 where not a lot of action occurred, you got to think that the leg kicks took the round.
Yep.
But that 3rd round is where it gets really interesting because Esquerra's output dropped significantly. At the same time, Damon Jacobs picked up and landed a couple of nice combinations. Then you have the takedown at the end.
Right.
Although you could argue that Jacobs avoided it with the scramble.
Exactly, and those right crosses that he seemed to find a home for several times in the round.
Very difficult.
It really depends on what the judges are looking at. We've talked about this many times. What are they going to value more? Are they going to value the repeated leg kicks or those big overhand rights? Or straight rights, excuse me.
Really interesting note here. These are probably 2 of the more talented guys on the card tonight.
Very technical.
They kind of stalled each other out a little bit, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was a great matchup. And when you have such a good and even matchup, they tend to cancel each other out a little bit. And that's what the striking we saw tonight.
Will Chris Esquerra remain undefeated and improve to 4-0? Or will Damon Jacobs add one more check mark to the win column? Will it be the leg kicks of Esquerra? Will it be the right cross of Damon Jacobs? Interesting note, that first round, quite a bit of action.
Yeah.
And then, you gotta wonder, maybe they both felt something in that first round that made each of them kind of take pause.
You have to wonder, I mean, when you feel the power of your opponent and it's such a good matchup and you guys are both landing strikes, it would be smart to come in with a different strategy for the next 2 rounds.
Even with the leg damage, we still saw the hand speed of Damon Jacobs as this fight went on. The guy is just so quick and so accurate.
We could say the same about Esquerra. I think what we saw from both of these fighters is their composure their strategy and their professionalism.
We definitely saw some more maturity from Damon Jacobs this
Yes.
time around. A guy who's really growing not only in his skill set, but also in his mentality, staying focused on what he's doing rather than sort of playing games with his opponent.
I agree.
Judges taking their time to tally this one up. Certainly a difficult one to call.
This is a really hard match to score. I wouldn't want to be judging it right now. But
That's why we
I
just
enjoyed
talked
watching
about
it. That's why we leave it to the professionals.
It looks like the judges are finally getting their decision in. They won't tell me what it is yet. We have to wait for you to hear with us.
Their answers.
It's coming. Big cheers from the crowd. Looks like we finally have that decision. Let's see how it all turned out. Inside the cage with Salvador Arellano.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. First judge scores a fight 29-28 for Esquerra. Second judge scores a fight 29-28 for Jacobs. Third and final judge scores a fight 29-28 for your winner by split decision out of the blue corner, Damon Jacobs.
All right, I'm here with your winner, Damon Jacobs. Damon, Damon, you always put on such exciting fights in here. You suffered a tough loss in your last out. How important was it for you to come in here and get a win?
It was very important. My last fight did not go nearly as well as I wanted to. I was a little off the mark this fight. I had a little trouble pulling the trigger, but you know what? I just got to keep getting back in here and just, you know, keep finding myself every time I come in here and just, you know, get that experience, you know, and just keep doing it, you know.
Yeah,
Get in here more. I just got to get in here more.
it was such a close fight. You guys are having a chess match on your feet. Were you confident that you did enough to get the win?
You know, I feel that fight could have gone either way. You know, he put up an excellent fight. He had really good takedown, good groundwork. You know, but yeah, like I said, it could have gone either way. And yeah, my hat goes off to Kristofferson and his team over at Gooch Training Academy. And yeah, thank you to the UofMMA, and thank you to all of you guys for coming out and supporting. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Well, Damon Jacobs, I want to thank you and thank Kristofferson Esquerra for a wonderful fight. We look forward to seeing you again. Damon Jacobs, ladies and gentlemen.
Your winner by split decision.